What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Clubhouse. This is the third episode of our amazing series that we're trying to bring out. And just to quickly recap, the two previous episodes that we put out there dealt with friendships and hookup culture, as well as like relationship advice, talking about how relationships can go bad and how to correctly resolve those things. Today we're going to talk about something that affects almost everybody watching you guys, and that is social media. There's various social media outlets out there like Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and it's such a great topic to talk about because there's so many different facets to it, whether you're talking about trying to promote your business or how it links to mental health, comparisons to other people and stuff like that. So we're going to just dive into that, and I'm just going to hand it off to Smit to try to introduce the topic a little bit more.
So I think the best way to open this up is like, how do you guys use social media? So I'll start off with myself. So me personally, I kind of use it more so for, like a business aspect, connecting with people, and even with like people of similar interests, and obviously just wasting time just scrolling through the web.
For me, it's like waste of time. Honestly, like I don't know. I don't really have a purpose for social media. I mean, I don't sit on social media all day, but for me, it's mostly like just a place to see things, get ideas. Like let's say I want to build a car, or I have an idea. Like I just look up some builds, and I get a couple good ideas. Or if I want to look up like food and I want to see like what other people are talking about, it's a good platform. So I usually do sit a lot on Reddit.
Right.
It's like one of my favorite like social media. I don't know if that's considered. Is that considered social media? Reddit? Yeah, right?
Yeah, it's a community.
It's I do sit a lot on Reddit, and for me, like that's definitely.
Oh, Reddit's the best.
One of my favorite like areas of social media, I guess. But I always learn a lot of weird stuff that
you come across.
It's kind of like YouTube in a way.
It is like
comments and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
YouTube, I'm definitely a lot on too.
YouTube, yeah. I personally use social media to connect with people. Like Smith said, I look for like funny things. There's always memes out there that you can find and share amongst your friends. I try to meet like-minded people on Instagram. If you're pursuing something or you have a specific interest. So that's one of the main reasons why I use it.
For social media, I use Snapchat, like to talk to friends, like long distance friends. I use Instagram to like put pictures on, to like post regularly. Entertainment, use for entertainment, use for friendship, and probably fitness wise later on the road.
Word. That's word. So to go into this a little bit deeper, what would you say? What would you say are some of the pros of social media? We did mention a couple throughout, how we use it, but to I guess go deeper into it. What would you say some of the pros are?
Remember that first episode we talked about like friendship?
Mm-hmm.
Definitely like that part. A lot of people can reconnect again. I have a lot of family that lives like almost in like all over the country, all over the world. So that's like one way I use it. If I ever want to talk to somebody or need somebody, they're like there to talk to me.
So you're using it as a way of like communicating?
Yeah. I mean, I use it. I don't know. It's a very hard way of like explaining it, but like it's very like I use it to communicate. I use it to get ideas. I use it to talk to other people. To social media, you're supposed to talk to people,
right?
Right. That's like the point.
In some cases,
that's the point of social media, really.
In some cases, yeah.
And I mean, I would say I kind of do that too in a way, but like for personal use, not to like make money off of it or.
Right.
I think such as Facebook or Snapchat.
Yeah.
Too. But like Instagram will be more like towards entertainment and like pictures.
Yeah.
Well,
if you're like
Instagram is just like a different model, right?
It's just a different model, kind of.
It's like right now, like TikTok is booming.
Yeah,
and
but essentially all of these things, they all like end up going on to each other. Like it might start off on TikTok, right?
Yeah.
It might end up on Twitter. From Twitter, it might end up on Instagram, and then it might end up on Facebook.
Right.
So it's all kind of
I think it just depends on the actual what you're using.
And it depends on like what you're using it for. Like if you're selling stuff, like if you're buying and selling stuff, you might use Facebook versus like Instagram. You want to use Instagram to sell stuff.
So you're going into more of the kind of the business aspect.
Yeah, I mean like. Yeah.
In some case, yeah. Like if you're buying and selling things, and there's all the Facebook marketplace.
The goal is to hit the most people, right? If you're selling stuff.
Yeah.
So I would rather be on Facebook because it has more people
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
per se, versus like Instagram, because it's kind of like, okay, now somebody has to DM me, and now they have to do a bunch of work.
Yeah.
Versus like Facebook, it's just like you just click one button and then like that's it.
Well, there's also a significantly large number of older people at Facebook rather than Instagram.
Well, everybody's on Facebook.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, there's just a lot more people on Facebook.
Like I recently sold a PS4 on Facebook, and it took only like 2 days for me to get like 100 responses.
Yeah.
It's really insane. But, like
That's-
Facebook.
Oh,
is,
yeah,
Facebook
and-
is very. Facebook Marketplace is very powerful.
No, and even before like Facebook Marketplace became like a big thing, there used to be like Craigslist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
And
people still use Craigslist. Too.
They do,
Yeah.
but I feel like honestly, Facebook Marketplace has taken over that
Taken
place that
over that
Craigslist has been.
Oh yeah.
I use the marketplace for a lot of carports. Honestly, like I've
Yeah.
sold,
Mm.
I've bought a lot of wheels from there. I've sold a lot of wheels, including other like miscellaneous parts that I have just laying around. Just put it up on Facebook, and then eventually you'll end up finding somebody. They could be nearby. Like we live in Jersey. I've sold parts in New York and Pennsylvania plenty of times.
Right.
Right.
So
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, yeah. I guess from the business, aside from the business, like you build like a community of friends, right? Especially when you're on Instagram and you're like, for example, like Smit and you're into cars. Smit's into photography, and that combination is so like
oh, it's a
unique
powerful,
and
yeah, it's a powerful
yeah.
combination.
And so like you create like a nice platform where you can meet people who have a similar mindset and personality, and you just build a good community of friends through that.
And honestly,
support each other.
yeah, not even just support each other, but you help each other out. Like,
Yeah.
So in terms of the business aspect, I have my whole like photography page on the side of my main one, right? And essentially, I get a lot of like clients through. I mean, I mainly only have the Instagram, but I mainly get a lot of that through that page itself.
Right.
By just showcasing all the pictures and stuff, and people themselves with the word
It's
of
like
mouth
marketing,
too.
right?
Yeah, it's like
Yeah,
some marketing.
it's
Like,
form of
people can
marketing,
literally
yeah.
search you up. Like, let's say you shot with somebody, right? And this just happened recently. I shot with somebody like maybe a couple months back, and somebody else was looking for like pictures of their cars. And one of my other friends that I shot with, he ended up referring me to his buddy, and he went through my page, really liked the pictures, and he ended up hitting me up and asking for pictures. And I just shot back with him like a couple of days ago. And that's what I feel like is like really good. Essentially, and you can also see how people have like progressed, like
Right,
especially
yeah.
through my pictures. Like I probably have like maybe 200 or something posts on that
Post,
page,
right.
and you could see where I started from all the way to
All
where
the way
I
to
am
right
now.
now.
And it's just like, oh, okay.
Because you've improved. Well, I see. I think that like the common mistake people make when they're trying to do what you're doing, not just like with photography, with any platform they're trying to promote, is that they don't post consistently.
Oh,
so they
yeah.
post very sporadically, and that just, in my opinion, doesn't appeal to the audience you're trying to. You know,
no,
you have to be able to
not
post
even
consistently.
that. Like these days, like what is it? Like the algorithm that happens on like Instagram. If you're not posting consistently enough, you just won't end up on people's feeds.
Feeds,
Like,
yeah. That's
like,
what it is.
yeah. So in terms of consistency, like the whole algorithm that Instagram has now is that you kind of like don't end up on people's feeds if you're not
Feeds, if you're not
posting
posting
as
consistently.
often, right? You might get that thing as like a notification, like oh such and such just posted for the first time in a long while. Yeah, but how many people are really going to be tapping on that? Unless they're you're friends with them or you're acquaintances with them,
Right.
then sure. But other than that, they probably won't look at it. But if you're posting more consistently and people are actually, liking the photos, it'll end up coming up on their feed more constantly, and and not even they'll share it or whatever the case may be.
So I guess like posting consistently is one of the ways you can try to promote yourself. But what other ways can you guys think of that you think can generate a good following and?
Honestly, just having a good word of mouth, like
Being active.
yeah, being active and being like a genuinely good person too.
Yeah.
Like if you're a dickhead on any social media and you might run a business, like people might just not want to associate with it. But if you're like genuinely like a good person, you're obviously not screwing people over or anything like that.
You're
then
not even reciprocating.
Oh yeah, not even reciprocating the same energy back to
Yeah.
other people. Like, but yeah, no, if you're reciprocating energy to other people, you're being like a good person. Like people will want to be like, okay, sure, I'll share your post or whatever it is.
Right.
There's plenty of people that I have now. I'll post on my main page of my car or myself, my car or something, and people will repost it on their story, and I'll probably get a little bit more following from that, or from my pictures.
Yeah, people
all
with the same interests, like follows.
Well, yeah. Of course, it's always somebody with the same. Well, sometimes the same interest. Sometimes they're just good friends, and then they'll repost it.
They'll just do it because you're friends, right?
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
for example, fitness, like if you're posting fitness pictures and like others will see it and like you'll get like the sponsorships. like from.
Well, yeah, but that's when you're generating your following. I'm just talking about like people reposting in general. I mean, like if let's say I post something on my like Smith's Picks thing, right? There's obviously like a group of people, even Dee or Andy sometimes too. They'll repost some of my pictures on their story, and their followers may not be following me, but now they've seen the picture itself. You know?
Exposure.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then when you go onto a deeper level of that, right? Back to what Paris was saying about getting like sponsorships and stuff too. It helps out a lot.
Yeah.
Definitely with your reach too. I think that's one of the biggest keys.
That's a big thing people are utilizing now is just reposting each other's stories or posts, and that like mutual sort of
Like today.
thing.
Like today.
What?
With the thing in Edison.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
that
There's
thing.
a
Yeah,
lot-
yeah. You reach like a really big fall. Well, I mean, we won't talk about.
We won't
what
talk about
happened
that,
there.
but
Like yeah, something happened in Edison today, and it's reached out to like a
Yeah,
thousand
it was-
people.
Also, like today, like
instantly.
I was in a town called Boundbrook,
Brown
and there was a big fire, and so like I put on my Snapchat and like immediately like at least like 30 people started like hitting me up and like, oh my god, where is this? Like that's
Right.
crazy. Like,
Yeah, it's a big fire. It's crazy how like
and then
Oh yeah.
and then obviously somebody else in that area probably knows them, and then they were probably there too at the same time, and they probably saw it. And
exactly.
Right, it
Yeah,
just-
like that's just like that you get
like a
exposure.
perpetual
to-
cycle.
not even just through your Snapchat. When you saw like the news like post itself, there were Twitter videos that were already there, so people on Twitter were already seeing it.
Already
Yeah.
seen it, yeah.
You know, and that's like there's a good and a bad to that. Like it's good that
People
news
know
is
where
able
it's
to like
telling.
fly around instantly, especially in like a local area for something like that. Like it's good that news is flying around because that comes up before any news.
Also, like it helps with traffic.
Oh yeah,
Sure.
definitely.
Helps with a lot of things.
Helps with a lot of things, yeah.
That's-
Things that you might
People
overlook.
might avoid that area. People,
Prepared.
people,
Yeah, prepared.
police might say not to go to that area.
Exactly.
Yeah, people
You'll
might
be more prepared, yeah.
Right? Exactly.
Yeah.
But things like that with social media is very, very powerful in that sense, where things can be avoided very, very quickly.
Yeah.
And I think it's not just like social media; it's like technology itself in a way.
Yeah.
Oh
It's
yeah.
evolved like tremendous.
Oh yeah, like phones are constantly going off with some sort of
Yeah.
thing, you know.
Mhm.
I mean, you see it in the podcast. Sometimes I'm online too, just like looking something up. Or I'm usually half the times it's just the topics of what we're going through. But something is always popping up. Some notification is going on, and that just it really depends on how you
Very,
treat
very
it.
powerful.
Yeah.
You know?
That's, yeah. I think-
Now, there's all those good sides of like, being able to connect to people of like, friends and family and of similar interests too, like car forums and stuff. And then there's also the business aspect that's really good of being able to, have a bigger reach, having a following, being able to kind of spread your work further than just by word of mouth. Now, or even, and how fast like news goes.
Right.
Now, there's also obviously the negatives of social media. What do you think those are?
Well, I mean, I'd say that like, so when you go on like Instagram, right, or Facebook, most people are just posting pictures of like the happiest times of their life, right? They're not really. I'd say like for the most part, it's the times like when they feel like they're happy or they're joyous or whatever.
Yeah.
And then people will look at that and they get a sort of, I think they get a distorted sense of reality because they're like, how do I put this?
I'll take it.
Yeah, they're just-
so
yeah.
people are always, so this is mainly on like Instagram, I guess, and Facebook
Yeah.
a little bit, but people are always posting it at their like peak or their
peak
top
moments,
point.
right? Yeah.
And you obviously miss out on the parts where things are going bad or anything like that. For example, like I bagged my car recently.
Mhm.
There on Instagram and on Instagram only, there are pictures of just my car
What?
aired out, and that's it. Of my car aired out, and that's it, right? And you don't know any of the background or anything like that. You don't know if I've went through multiple management systems because something has went wrong. I mean, I didn't have any of those issues, obviously, but like you don't see that.
What? Yeah. I think when it, obviously that's dealing with cars, right? But
Yeah.
when you're talking about actual people, right?
Mm-hmm.
Somebody who's like severely depressed sees that all of their friends are posting pictures at the peak of their life. They're
Yeah.
always gonna have that like comparison kicking in, right? Where they think that, damn, my friends are doing better than me, but they don't realize that each and every one of them also has low points.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
because social media is so it makes sense intrinsically that you just post whatever you want at the highest point in your life. There's always gonna be people who start comparing themselves to each
The
other.
reason why I mentioned like Facebook and Instagram more so for posting the peak of your life. I don't know why, and this tends to be a thing, but Twitter ends up being more so the other end of that. Yeah, people are always posting, good things too about what's going on, and I've done the same thing. But people tend to go and talk about the negatives of their life a lot more on there for some reason.
Yeah.
And it seems like it's just there.
Right.
And so
because it's more you're just typing.
Yeah.
You're typing your thoughts, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Instagram, like, people are more focused on the actual picture.
On the
and
actual picture and caption.
Twitter is
Because
just expressing what you
Because
feel.
people are not gonna be like, they don't want to see like a picture of somebody crying.
Yeah, unless it's
Instagram
like
Just
like
more
fake Instagram or
entertaining.
Finsta, whatever they call it.
Yeah.
I mean,
even
it's
then, like.
Yeah, even
Like,
then, it
yeah.
still might be the peak.
But even people on Finsta still, like, I feel like they try to portray their life as like, being so amazing, and like they they have like this.
It's a
bubbly,
facade
like,
that's put on,
personality. Yeah.
And then
I mean,
you get a distorted sense.
Yeah,
And then-
but there's nothing wrong with like having a bubbly personality, but like there's a like sense where like when you're just trying to do it to just have attention.
Right.
Oh yeah, and then there's that whole thing of like not even just distorting people's idea of how you're living and then comparing lives, but there's also the idea of you're kind of faking the way you live, or you're just doing something just for attention,
Just
or
for
what people
pleasure,
call
right?
not even just pleasure, like just like a drop of clout. You're just doing
Right.
the most insane things that you
Views.
normally wouldn't do.
Yeah. It's crazy because like nowadays, like people who are like clinically depressed,
Yeah.
a lot of like if you go for like therapy, right?
Mhm.
Most of them will advise them to like get off social media or deactivate it because they know it has such a traumatizing effect on them.
Yeah,
It's very
and
addictive, yeah.
I have a couple of friends that do the same thing too.
Mhm.
They're at their low point for some reason, and
They want to deactivate it.
they either deactivate it or they'll take off their apps and they won't think about it for the next couple months, and then come back a little bit more refreshed.
Do you guys personally ever feel that when you look at other people's
Yes, we
posts and you feel like some comparison kicking in,
Really?
especially
Sometimes-
with a
sometimes-
similar like hobby. Let's just say
Honestly,
like
No,
you're
but sometimes you can feel very inspired
Yeah,
You
that's
can't
what
do
I was
it,
gonna
right?
because,
go
Sorry.
through.
because
That's
you
what
can
I was
also
gonna
feel the opposite, right?
Yeah.
there's both ends, right?
And
Yeah,
sometimes there's also like there's people in the world who are successful or like portray that successful image without even portraying it on like Instagram, social media.
Social media, right?
Yeah. No, I kind of like agree with Andy here. I don't know if that's just me, like how my personality is, but like even if I see somebody doing better than me and like in
Yeah.
a similar area, it just makes me want.
Well,
to be better
that's
than
you guys
myself.
individually,
Exactly,
but for
yeah.
some other people,
For some
it might
other
be
people,
jealous.
it just might be
Yeah.
like
I'm jealous around.
yeah,
this.
exactly. Like, oh, this guy has all this fucking money. Like,
Yeah.
I'm jealous. It makes me upset or something like that. Or
Oh, he looks better in pictures.
or he
Yeah.
looks better in pictures for some reason. They have all the actually. I keep forgetting because my phone just hasn't done it, and even though I've updated the app, but Instagram took off the likes, right?
The what?
No, for some, I think it was kind of an experiment. I think they did it with some people. It was random.
Really?
Yeah.
They got
I don't think they took out. Wait, so you can't see the.
I can still see my likes.
Yeah, so they did it with certain
Because
people.
because I
Just
know.
completely randomly.
Can you see yours still?
I don't.
You can still see.
I can
yours?
still see my likes.
Really? I thought
I
there was a
think it's
time
some-
period where it was like, oh yeah, Instagram's taking off likes, and
They just put like a. They don't even put the number,
Is it
right? They just
nothing?
put the.
Oh, actually, you know what's funny? I do remember seeing that. Like, I wouldn't see a number there, and it'd just be names.
Mm.
But then they might have brought it back for some reason. But how did you feel about that? Like,
Okay.
I thought it was actually. Well, the whole reason why they wanted to do it. Does anybody know why they want to do it? Was it just because, like, they want to just test it and see how people would react?
I thought it was more so of like a psychological thing, like because people.
Yeah,
were
people are
getting-
more self-conscious.
Yeah,
when they
more
see the
self-conscious
numbers.
about getting
Yeah.
likes. Like
That's another big
Yeah,
thing.
that's
People
the thing.
people like crave for the number. Like they
Yeah,
crave
for-
for the number of likes that they get.
Oh,
like,
I'm
who
guilty
gives
of
a
that.
shit,
I'm
man?
guilty of that.
Huh?
You are, let me. I'm
really give a shit.
gonna be
Something about it.
completely honest with you. There are, and this is again, it's more so because I have that background. But there are so many people in this car world that do things just for likes.
Well,
For likes. And
that's-
if this
that's-
social media didn't exist,
Right.
so many car people
That-
would not be.
Right.
That's the biggest.
There's a lot of
that-
people who wouldn't even be into cars.
Exactly.
Yeah. That's
And
the biggest
But
thing,
you know,
though, right?
but cars do bring a lot of people together though. Because
No, but
do you know Obsessed Garage?
No.
So he's a YouTuber. He's a really big like YouTuber.
Yeah.
He's known to like detail like all these like crazy cars and stuff like that.
Okay.
He supposedly he's like very like organized. Like he's a very like organized person.
Right.
Like I can't even describe like how like if you saw like this couch, he would like fix it.
Okay.
Like that's the type of person he is.
Mm.
So supposedly he was like diagnosed with like obsessive
Compulsive OCD.
OCD.
Yeah.
So he's obsessed with that. Not obsessed. He's
He
diagnosed with that.
Yeah.
He's diagnosed with OCD, right?
So supposedly he had like some sort of mental breakdown,
Oh, really?
and
shit.
the breakdown was like this breakdown happened when his daughter was getting, when his wife was giving birth with the second daughter, with his first daughter, and so like he was having this breakdown, and during his breakdown, he went to like a psychologist,
Mm-hmm.
and then he went to what's after psychologist.
I don't know.
I don't know. He went to some sort of like psych doctor, some sort of doctor for
Psychotherapist.
I don't know these.
But anyways,
That-
like he went to like one of these doctors, and the doctor was like, "This is before he was on YouTube."
Right.
The doctor was like, "Look, man, you gotta make some friends." And he's like, "Friends?" He's like, "I don't need friends." Like he's the type of person that he has like that type C, like I'm better than you
Type C
He's not
personality.
like
Oh,
he's not like the type A, like type A people will like just tell you,
Right.
like, I'm better. It's like, yo, I'm better than you, bro. Like, come on, like,
Right.
are you serious?
Right.
But type C would be like, they'll just look at you and be like, shoot.
Right. Like shoot.
But they're like in their head, they're like, I am better than you, but
Right.
they just won't tell you. They'll just make you think.
Right.
I'm low key kind of like that.
Jealous.
But
I'm kind of like that, but
so like what you were saying.
wait,
like,
going back.
Yeah.
So that he started making videos on YouTube,
Mhm.
and people actually started to like them. And
Oh, really?
He kept making videos, and he was posting on the Porsche forums, and
Mhm.
he was posting on all these like forums, and people were actually following his story. Even though like his videos were like hour long,
Mhm.
people would actually sit there and watch it.
Well, I mean, if he's detailing cars, why not?
Well, he wasn't like just like talking about like detailing his car. Like he was mostly talking about like his life, like why.
That's
Oh,
appealing to people.
Yeah.
Though.
Yeah,
Like he was talking about like why he's washing his car, but like there's like.
I mean,
But like
you
it's
don't
like because his wife yelled at him, or like his daughter was
Yeah.
trying to get away from his daughter, or something like that.
Yeah.
I mean, here's the thing. Like people might just have it like playing in the background. That's what I would expect out of this video
Yeah,
to
yeah.
begin with. These are really long videos, and I expect it to be like one of those things like you play it in the background while you're doing something else.
Yeah,
you know, that's what I feel like people are doing, which is good actually.
But it's
Right.
crazy like what social media can do.
Oh yeah,
What-
yeah.
what else-
exactly.
what else-
Like even people like it can like we're talking about people who are comparing themselves. I'm talking about people who are comparing themselves not even on social media but like in person.
Right.
And like now they're using that
Yeah, because
that fuel
right.
on social media.
They're
right?
using social media to then make
Exactly.
Yes, but what I'm saying is that the biggest struggle I'd say is that you have to transform people's mindset into when they post pictures, you should only be posting because it's like your sense of self-worth. Like you're posting because you feel like you earned the right to earn that post rather than you're posting just for the sake of getting numbers. I think changing that
Or,
mindset
like,
is so
you know,
difficult for people because
or-
people all they want to do is chase numbers.
But
Even we're
Instagram's
like
also
prone to that.
Instagram's also guilty of doing that too for people.
Well, that's why they want to test
Oh,
this.
that's the whole promote.
Promoting
Yeah,
inside thing and all that.
insight and all that crap.
And then you
Promoting
have the
algorithm.
explore page and everything. And
But
their
don't you
algorithms.
think that's useful though? Especially if you make a business page, you'd
Yeah,
want
if
to
you
know
make
how
a
many people.
business
Yeah,
page,
but like-
yeah.
but like
But
for
that's what
regular
insights are
people-
for too.
Yeah,
That's true.
but that's why they force you to go like public
Right.
and like make it a business because as if you're having a business platform, you need to know how many people are actually. You have to know the level of responsiveness. Like if you don't know the level of responsiveness, you don't know if you're doing good or not.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's the thing. Which is why I made it. I mean now, but I've always been fucking public. But you know, but
Yeah, I mean both of mine.
yeah, I mean yeah.
Oh yeah,
I'm not public on anything except Twitter.
Well, I mean,
Twitter,
yeah.
I
If you're okay,
That's
okay.
because
I'm gonna be honest. if you're-
Twitter is horrifying, by the way. We all know.
If you're
Great.
no.
Twitter's
If you're on Twitter and you were, you have a private account, why? Why are you on?
Why are you
that?
on Twitter?
Like some of the shit I've seen on
I'm
Twitter,
sorry.
man. Like
What will I
But
reduce?
okay. I think we're going. I think we're going further from the point here. So, so okay. You're making a point about. You made the point about distorted.
distorted reality, yeah.
And then.
Distorted image,
But
distorted.
what about like
reality.
one that can like
I guess
stop
like
someone?
reverse.
Like one
Oh,
that can
okay. So yeah. So I mean, that.
What do you guys think about DMs? That I think that's the overarching. Like, do you think that do you think that's like a negative aspect of it? Like that these
It
weird ass
depends.
No.
weird ass
It
people.
depends.
I just asked somebody today about Islam subs.
About what?
Oh, I mean, yeah. So it depends truly. Like,
goes both ways.
I mean, like I reached out to him, right?
Yeah.
yeah.
But he's
It's-
promoting something that he is doing, and I kind of want.
Yeah,
to
so there's an aspect to this. It's like if somebody hits me up, right? They have
Mhm.
some interest in doing and taking pictures or whatnot, right?
Mhm.
But they need some help or whatnot. They might see my page, they might come across and be
Right.
like, you know what, I might ask them something. I'm not gonna, that's not anything creepy or anything.
Right.
That's perfectly fine, right? Or they might have a question about bags or something, or have an issue. They might have never spoken to me, but they follow me, they know I'm in the area. Let me hit him up and see, what he can do. But then there is the creepy aspect, like what Paris mentioned before about like having stalkers or creepers on you. Which if you have a public account, you will never, you'll never obviously know about it.
Yeah.
Unless you're maintaining your followers that well that, okay, I know exactly all 700, let's say, people that are following me, I know exactly every one of them. It's so difficult to, maintain something like that. But it depends on how much access you're giving to people,
Right. Right.
But what about like Facebook? Like someone could like talk to you, like some stranger or something.
No, yeah, but that
Not even-
only
That's
depends.
like
Anybody
Tinder,
could talk to you, but at the end of the day,
Well, anybody can
Some-
DM you.
Well, the only reason why I brought this up was because there's a whole issue now of like especially female models who are getting, like, they're not getting harassed by photographers, but there's some sketchy ass people who are trying to DM them, who are claiming that they're good, they could shoot with them for this X and Y Z amount of money.
yeah, and then these
And
are like the models. That
These
are
are
just
these
starting
people
out,
are like
right?
yeah, these
Scams.
people are like they some of them have, there's actually been like cases where like some of these photographers have either kidnapped these women or they were part of human trafficking or whatnot. So like, and the appeal to that is so like strong, right? Especially if you're
Yeah.
a model and you're trying to promote
Well, human
yourself.
trafficking just
and-
recently went up.
Huh?
Well, human trafficking, like
Yeah,
activity.
not just human trafficking though, but like you don't know who the person is,
Exactly.
the photographer
Yeah, of
is that's
course,
trying to shoot with you.
In that sense, I feel like, okay, let's say somebody random reaches you out. I feel like the first thing you should probably do is get some background on them. If you can
Yeah,
figure out, okay, they might have mutual followers, let me ask them and see
that's
what's going on.
definitely true. Yeah.
Let me see if there's anybody within the state, within the area that, they might potentially be
Recognize.
claiming to living in.
Right.
And see what's up. If something doesn't match up, then you're obviously obligated to, not do it.
Yeah.
Obviously, that's really difficult. And it's not the first thing that comes to your mind, especially
When you see the
like,
cash.
yeah, when you
yeah.
see not even the cash flow, but like
When you just
like
see the opportunity, yeah.
That's not the first thing. You're just like, I want to chase it, I want to
I wanna
chase it, I want to chase it,
yeah.
And then it goes back to what I was going to tell
Yeah.
Paris here about like creep stalkers or anything. You have the ability to give out limited access to your information to them.
Or you just block them.
Or yeah, not even that, but like
Yeah.
I'm talking about like it could be just somebody you would never have even seen or don't even
Right.
know about. They don't
Right.
have any interaction on your page other than they see what you post.
Right.
As far as people might know, they know that I live within this area of
Right.
Jersey. They don't know exactly where. Well, for most people,
Right.
they don't know exactly where. They don't know the exact info to be on my case or anything
Right.
like that. But that's all because of the limited access I give them. But yeah, that's essentially for any creeps or stalks, that's where you have to limit your information. And I feel like for people that they post everything, they're like, oh,
Sitting on a toilet, they posted.
they send on the toilet, they post address, anything. I think the worst thing that it could be is just Snapchat and Snap Maps. Again, you have the ability to turn it off where you're sitting at or what location you're at constantly, right?
Right.
And you might just have people added that you might just, you don't want them to obviously know where you're at.
I think the worst part is, and we can all agree, is when people record the Avengers movie and post it on the gram.
Oh my
Or-
god. Oh yeah. Another part is like, okay, yeah.
And
Like
we all know who that person
exposing,
is.
like you're sitting in a theater and it's a prime film that people
I
are
think we
gonna
should-
watch.
I'm not gonna say any names, but like I remember just going on the gram and I see this.
And there's so
I
many.
see this
people-
motherfucker post the entire
It was
goddamn
mad funny
ending
too.
of
I
Instagram.
watched the Avengers, but I had no idea what was going on.
That's
Yeah,
terrible.
really?
Anyway,
Well,
I
let's
watched
just
it
say
like
you're-
I watched it in like
go
like
on
Dolby,
Netflix.
like-
Go on Netflix.
No, I watched
Oh,
it.
okay,
I watched it like Dolby Cinema. Like
Right.
it was like a great experience, but I had no idea what was going on.
Go
Yeah.
I'm like,
watch
why
any
did
previous ones. Go watch the
I'm like, why did Iron Man die?
But again, for like people who like avid Marvel fans, like
they would be so upset seeing that. I'm not a crazy
Some big
fan, but I'm
fans.
just like this would piss me off
like
if I really.
Right.
who the
If
hell
you're a
would
big
want to
fan,
do that?
yeah.
Exactly, and this is the thing this is the
Some
bad
people
part.
just don't have like filter, you know.
They just think it's fucking.
They don't
fun.
have filters.
Jokes.
Yeah.
This is and
But
this
like
is
at the end of the day, like
How the hell is that?
but at the end of the day, you have to
To-
realize this
yeah.
is the freedom of social media.
yeah, like so this is the part I was talking about, like
Freedom
the
of
bad news that you'd be receiving. Like this is still kind of
Right.
like news, I guess, but like this is the bad news that you'd be receiving. Then they'll just fly across. Not even that. Like let's say somebody does something wrong, right? You see it on Twitter all the time. Somebody drops the N word with the RDR on Snapchat, whatever the case may be, or something like somebody like beats somebody up or something like that,
Right.
That news will fly around so like within minutes if you post it
yeah.
on Twitter.
That's
Literally.
where
But
like
it's a
delves into
whole
like
side.
politics and like political correctness and stuff, especially with Twitter, where people have
Oh
all
my
these
god!
political
Yeah,
discussions and
exactly. Yeah.
stuff. Yeah, we don't have to get into that. It's a
No,
whole.
No, that's a
nother-
whole nother
yeah,
regime.
whole
But I'm
nother
talking
thing,
about
yeah.
the.
You know what's mad crazy?
What are you
Like,
talking about?
speaking of like fights and like
Mhm.
Roadstar and all that, you know how much Roadstar charges to post one ad for 24 hours?
I'm not sure.
At least like 30,000 for one for
What?
1 day.
Holy shit!
Yeah, that's why like Fashion Nova was like all up on like
Right.
Roadstar, and now like people just randomly like promote Fashion
Oh, wow.
Nova without even doing it.
That's
It's
crazy.
Literally insane.
30,000?
Yeah,
I didn't
I
know
got when I was doing like e-commerce and stuff like
Mhm.
that. I had gotten I emailed like one of the Worldstar like people,
Yeah.
like, whoever runs the page, and they like literally gave me like a whole invoice and was like, this is how much we would charge you for 1 hour, for 15 hours, for 24 hours.
But that also
1
depends
week.
on that's the business aspect of like
Yeah.
you being able to get your traffic on your page
Yeah.
is money to
It's
people.
It's just
Yeah.
sometimes it's like ridiculous. Like it's just like
And this is more so the positive point, but like if you have a page on anything, yeah, I know we've been more Instagram based, but like if you have a page on anything and you have a good following, a good reach, that could be considered great money for a lot of people starting
Right.
up their business or
Yeah.
anything, you know.
social media could like really make from the ground up.
Exactly, and people
Yeah.
have done that. There's a lot of people that have.
But you
just
have to
made
be willing to
those.
put in the time to hustle, like to
Not
constantly
even just
find content.
not even that, but like you gotta just post even when you don't feel like posting.
Exactly.
Like,
You're only doing it at this point just for the business.
Just the business aspect, yeah.
Yeah.
But there are guys that do social media marketing for companies.
Yeah, exactly. Oh yeah, like
You know,
ShopRite.
Spencer
ShopRite
Bird.
has a whole brand for it.
Spencer
Yeah.
Bird, all these guys.
Exactly.
They all have SEOs and
Exactly. And
Right.
I mean,
This
yeah, it
day,
goes
this
back to-
day, like in the world, like business has changed, technology has changed, people have changed.
Right.
Yeah.
Like it's a
world is-
very, very interesting
Yeah.
time of year. All
Oh, exactly. Now going back to kind of the cons, a lot of people still think that, or have that notion that, when you're on your phone, you're just sitting there wasting time on social media. How do you feel about that kind of statement? Do you feel like,
Well-
previously that's something that was kind of true, but how about now?
I do feel like there's like a threshold, right? So I feel
Yeah.
like you could be doing other productive things during your day, right? I feel like especially for people who are like high in anxiety, stress, depression, like,
People
watch
might even
lists or
hide it with the
whatever.
person they're with in person.
Huh?
People might even hide it with the.
Yeah.
They might even be doing that with the person they're with in front of them.
But like I'm saying, like you can't just get lulled into that like social media world all the time. I think the people like who are spending all that time on their phone, their like perception of reality gets like
No, but I'm saying
progressively
like.
It's not
distorted.
even
No, but I'm
that.
saying,
You're
like-
just out of the real
Because
world.
you're constantly
Yeah.
thinking about
No,
that.
but
You're
I'm-
thinking about what this person posted or what this person commented. on
Yeah,
their
but I'm
post.
saying like.
Yeah.
I'm saying like it can also like social media can also project your reality, right?
Right.
So like let's say like there's like a couple they go on a date and like I don't know like the boy's on his phone like and the girl
She's just waiting.
She's
just
like, she
waiting to
wants
talk.
attention, right?
She not attention, but just to talk.
yeah she wants to talk.
Well, that's what
It's just like
you could be
when-
doing something productive in that situation,
I think
and
social
that's
media
talking
can
to your
Yeah,
girlfriend,
yeah,
right?
exactly.
Yeah, instead of saying, "Oh shit, like I just posted this and I'm not getting the right amount of likes right
Likes.
now."
Exactly.
Like that's what I mean.
I mean, even
Yeah.
then, there's days and times where it's like conversation's kind of low, and I'll just be like,
Yeah.
yeah, I just posted this picture, but I didn't have a great reach.
attraction.
But it could sometimes bring
it
up
basically
moments.
takes you away from the present moment, right?
Right.
Because
Yeah.
then you're just like ruminating on
Exactly.
everything.
Right.
Yeah.
Or not even that. There's sometimes like people feel like the excessive need, and I used to have this problem. Like the excessive need to record every single moment. I used to be
Right.
in car meets. People used to get so pissed off at me because my stories would get so long. Remember Snapchat had the thing and then like the
Yeah.
number in between.
Right.
It used to be.
I
Such
think
a
it's just
big-
part of human nature.
Yeah, I don't do it anymore,
Right.
but I used to have such long stories
bad habit.
only because I used to just record everything that happened at car meets.
Yeah.
And obviously,
But a lot of
it's
people
changed for me.
would. Some people would watch it though.
Yeah, they definitely would, and I
People would.
kind of had it for like, I'm actually glad that Snapchat brought out this whole memories thing because I get to look back at it
Look
later
back
on. When
at
I did record and I had those long stories, it ended up becoming
Yeah.
useful because like any day that comes upon, especially right now for some reason, randomly I'll look at my stories or like your memories pop up. It's like, oh yeah, I went to a car meet like 3 years ago. On this day.
That's
pretty cool
true.
to look at.
I think like even like when posting stories on Instagram, people might think that like you're just posting because like you want a certain number of people to look at it, but like for me, like that's not the case. Like if I want to post, like if I want to repost like a message or repost somebody's post, it's the only reason why is because I feel like it's like good enough or like purposeful in some sense that other people can like
Yeah.
learn from it. It's not like I want 250 people to look at it and I'll feel happy. Like no, fuck no. Like I'm
But
trying to like
some people
promote.
really
like,
post interesting content on social media though.
yeah, or they repost interesting content.
Oh yeah,
content.
yeah. If it's something like really
Like, I used
interesting,
to
And there's nothing wrong with sharing your opinions on it. Like people will post it on their stories, like I feel such and such about this. There's nothing wrong with that. Like we'll listen to you and
You can
stuff.
spit knows. I used to watch
Yeah.
Empire Boys like every day when you used to post every day on the stories.
oh my god!
We used to drive around New York. selling
Driver, we saw them too.
Yeah.
Remember last time we went to what's his name, Bobby Fly's shop.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put his eye here. I love that guy. He moved down the border, but like the last time I went there, we just like we see him sitting right there. We're like, oh shit!
M3, famous M3.
Oh,
You know VinWiki? Not was it VinWiki? No.
it was
Vice. Vice made a video with Empire
right?
Boys.
Yeah, I figured.
Love
That was
Vice.
great.
Oh yeah, they do have their video, but
It was like 3 parts.
what was it? we just went off on a big tangent there, but yeah. No, hold on, I wanted to get your opinion. Like, how do you feel about like people telling you like, oh, well, you need to get off your phone, you're wasting time.
What
Something
is
simple as that.
I didn't think you were wasting time.
Like, do you agree with them? Like, at a certain extent, do you think you agree with them?
Do you think if somebody's on their phone too much on social
But
media,
yeah,
do you think that's a problem?
That's a problem. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Honestly-
too much focus on.
Well, it depends what you're doing, right? It
Yeah,
depends
yeah.
on,
I could be sitting at home sometimes, and I do find myself mindlessly just scrolling through Twitter when I could be doing something better.
it depends on the person, right? So if
Yeah.
you already have a successful business platform, it makes sense to be on social
Yeah,
media. all the time.
exactly.
But if you're somebody who's like,
Just
just
mindlessly
constantly
just
checking comments
scrolling
and
and
stuff,
shit. Yeah.
then
It's a business. I want you to scroll.
It's a business. Yeah, it's a business. I want you to sit there. Yeah. Obviously, we all
and
get
people
drawn
get
in.
like
I think social media can like change your view of like other things.
other people for
Other
sure.
people.
Yeah, other people. Yeah.
Oh yeah. You might look at people like a lot
Different.
differently than you would see them, and they might be just like, oh
Yeah, so
yeah.
You might think
Social
somebody's
media.
scummy on social media and then in
And
person.
But
then,
in
and then
person, they're
translate it
really-
to real
yeah,
life. That's a big problem. People
Yeah.
have.
Or even vice versa. Some people might make themselves to look out like really good on social media, but in reality
They're
they're really fucking
complete
scummy.
assholes.
Yeah. So yeah.
Oh yeah, we see that all the
distortion of
time.
view. Yeah, distortion of
Definitely see
view.
that all the time.
Yeah.
Not no names, but
Yeah.
there's definitely a lot of that.
Can't throw out any names. You know?
So it's definitely.
I mean, so in my opinion, like you said, it depends on the person. Like, because I do run a business through there. Like sort of kind of. It's not like it's fully there, but I do run something from there. So I do find myself kind of like scrolling through social media. Figuring out okay who posted. Let me repost a picture or something like that. Yeah,
Right.
something like that, or even get through my repost if I posted something. And I mean that's where I kind of find most of my time, or I would just end up scrolling mindlessly through Twitter. And that's the
Yeah.
bad portion of it.
That's the bad part, but sometimes.
But sometimes, yeah, sometimes it's there. But
I
sometimes there's purpose to it. Let's say like with all the recent stuff that's been going on, a lot of Twitter has been like popping up,
Yeah.
and a lot of news has been popping, around those recent events. Sometimes I don't want to sit in front of like a TV watching the news. Sometimes Twitter might just have it there.
yeah, it's like matter. Of
Exactly, in a matter of seconds. Or
Yeah.
sometimes Twitter has it before even like news actually has it. And, that there's a purposeful sense of like just scrolling through.
Scrolling.
Or maybe like how you use social media, like it could be a good thing too, because like looking at news and like being productive,
Yeah, exactly. That's what I mean.
study wise.
Well, no, it's a great source of knowledge, right?
Knowledge,
Like social,
yeah.
especially
In some
like
sense,
Instagram,
yeah.
like there's so many different. There's cooking pages. There's there's
yeah.
so many different things you can
I
learn
think
about.
we're overlooking the fact that like YouTube could be considered one too.
YouTube is one too,
Yeah,
but
I
like
think watch
people
a lot.
underestimate like how Instagram can be one too, because there's pages that are devoted to just sharing information.
Yeah,
like look at
exactly.
fitness, right? Like there's people with 500,000 followers, and all they're posting is like technical jargon that has to do with like how you can improve in certain exercises, and they're making so much money.
Right.
And people they
And
like
then
that kind of
chefs,
stuff.
Like Salt Bay, who are posting
Yeah.
videos of him cutting meat.
Cutting meat and
Or
stuff.
like Sam
yeah.
the cooking guy just showing videos.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Or you might get
Crab
inspired. You might get inspired. You might see a post of like some food, and you see the recipe right below. It's like I want to fucking make this
Yeah,
today.
exactly.
That I would say that another pro for like social media in that sense is like when you're already successful at what you're doing, and then you realize you've made like a lasting impact on other people. That's like that improves your mental health in a way. That's like the opposite. end
yeah.
where
That's
like-
the opposite
because you
about
feel
it.
so
The
good, yeah.
dopamine's coming
Like
in.
other people have like been successful, like
And
buying
you're reaching your
program or
point.
doing this, yeah.
To a certain extent, like people think that you don't have that many followers, but in your sense, it's like, especially for my own page, it's like
Right.
me seeing that I'm now getting like paid for my shoots, Yeah, 300 followers isn't all that
Right.
much on Instagram, but like it's like a milestone for me.
Right.
And like me getting paid is one of the biggest things that I would never thought of happen when I just started shooting. I didn't think people would ever pay me for this kind of content.
Right.
But I'm getting paid, like it's
Looking
not,
at
it's not
reality,
crazy.
Like looking at reality, like whatever, how much like you're getting, I think that's good to see. Like,
Oh yeah. That's how you keep track of like how well you're doing at
Right.
something. In some,
True.
some
like there's a better stuff for like long like time for like right now. I think like looking at it right now and then like build on right now and then see how it goes for there.
Yeah.
I mean like
no. I mean, yeah. Not bad.
Wait, what? I was.
Yeah, I'm a little.
Wait, what were you saying?
You're talking about how like people might start off really small and then build.
Right.
Oh, like a
Yeah,
gradual
yeah.
process.
Like-
Yeah,
like
yeah,
a
yeah.
gradual
That's
build,
pretty
yeah.
important. Yeah, it takes time to like build a page. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. I think we're reaching that point where we're kind of wrapping up.
Wrapping
went
it up
through
and stuff,
everything.
yeah.
And
I mean, there's a
again,
lot
this
more
was a
stuff.
little bit. I mean, there is a
That was
lot
just
more, but
interesting.
again, it kind of dips into other areas, and I feel like we did get a good amount
Yeah,
of it.
We got a lot of yeah. So
But it did also.
So
go everywhere. So this was a little bit
We-
messy, I guess, in terms of that.
yeah. So like yeah. On that note, like I guess we're. I don't know why he's laughing. On that note, see now I'm laughing.
Yeah.
On that note, we're gonna wrap it up. This was a pretty short like episode. Not all of us are here. They're too busy doing other things, I guess. You know, even though they live like 30 seconds from here. But yeah, so you know, some upcoming stuff. We're planning to bring some guests on.
Oh yeah,
in the
for the
future.
next-
So
yeah,
like
yeah,
we're
yeah.
talking about some things like YouTube and stuff like that. We're gonna have more people here. I hope you guys are enjoying it so far. Please
If you are enjoying it, again,
Yeah.
drop a like, drop a comment.
Share.
If you have any
Share.
opinions on social media, drop a comment.
Please
we would
like.
If
all
you
love to
disagree
discuss it
with
with you.
somebody,
if you disagree with
we-
any of us, like don't be a bitch. Just like fucking confront me and like, fucking-
Drop a
You better
comment.
fucking subscribe,
Yeah,
right?
Drop a
Alright,
comment. Drop a comment.
I swear to God, I'll know which ones are fake and which ones are real by the amount of people who share.
Oh, yeah,
If I tell you to
please-
share, you
please
better
share so
share.
that
Because I do
algorithm can
everything
go
for everybody.
Oh.
Fucking done.
Yeah, bye.